Do you think you're a happy person? Even if you aren't, you probably see happy people around you every day, and it's easy to assume they have better lives, fewer problems, or more luck. But here's the truth. Happiness isn't something they found, it's something they practice. Just simple habits that quietly shape how they think, feel, and move through the world. So instead of chasing happiness like something distant, it's time to look at the patterns that actually create it. Let's get into it. Habit 1. Starting the day without noise. Most people wake up and instantly flood their mind with noise. You probably check your phone immediately after waking up. You see notifications, social media, and news. Before the brain even has a moment to be fully awake, it's already reacting. But the happiest people do something different. They create a gap. Even if it's just a few minutes, they delay the input. No scrolling, no external noise. Just a moment to exist without pressure. Because the way the day starts matters more than it seems. A reactive morning creates a reactive mindset, but a quiet start creates control. It's not about doing more, it's about allowing the mind to wake up before the world gets access to it. Habit 2. Letting go of small frictions. Throughout the day, small things go wrong. A delay, a mistake, an awkward interaction, something not going as planned. Most people hold on to these moments longer than they realize. They replay them, analyze them, let them affect the next hour or the entire day. But happier people release faster, not because they don't notice problems, but because they don't attach to them. They understand something simple. Not everything deserves extended attention. A small inconvenience doesn't need to become a mental burden. So instead of carrying it forward, they drop it quickly. And that ability to let things pass without resistance is one of the biggest protectors of daily happiness. Habit 3. Creating something to look forward to. A lot of people live in a constant loop. Work, responsibilities, obligations, repeat. And when there's nothing ahead that feels personally meaningful, everything starts to feel heavy. But the happiest people interrupt that pattern. They intentionally place small points of anticipation into their day. It doesn't have to be big. A walk, a good meal, time with someone they enjoy, even a quiet moment alone. What matters is this. There's always something ahead that feels positive, because the mind doesn't just live in the present, it constantly leans into the future. And when the future feels empty, motivation drops. But when there's something to look forward to, even small, the entire day feels lighter. Habit 4. Limiting comparison without forcing positivity. Comparison is constant. What others are doing, achieving, or becoming. And it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring everything against someone else's progress. But happier people don't try to force fake positivity or ignore reality. They simply reduce unnecessary exposure. They understand that constant comparison distorts perception. So instead of feeding it, they create distance from it. Less time-consuming things that trigger it. More time focusing on what's actually within their control. Because happiness doesn't grow in comparison. It grows in clarity. Clarity about what matters personally, not externally. Habit 5. Moving the body. This one is simple, but often ignored. Movement. Not for appearance, not for performance, but for mental stability. The happiest people don't wait for perfect conditions to take care of their body. They do it even when it's inconvenient, even when motivation is low. Because they don't rely on feeling like it. They rely on understanding what it does. Movement shifts energy. It clears mental fog, reduces stress, resets focus, and most importantly, it breaks stagnation. A stagnant body often leads to a stagnant mind. So even small movement, consistently, creates a noticeable difference in how the day feels. Habit 6. Being selective where attention goes. Attention is constantly being pulled. Every notification, every piece of content, every conversation. And most people don't realize how much of their mental state is shaped by where their attention lands. But happier people are more selective. They don't give equal importance to everything. They choose what deserves their focus and what doesn't. Because attention is not unlimited, and when it's scattered everywhere, it creates mental exhaustion. But when it's directed intentionally, it creates clarity. Happiness isn't just about what you do. It's about what you allow into your mind and what you decide to ignore. Habit 7. Ending the day with mental closure. The day doesn't just end when work is done. For most people, it lingers. Unfinished thoughts, conversations replaying, plans for tomorrow looping endlessly. The body might be resting, but the mind stays active. Happier people create a form of closure. They don't carry the entire day into the night. It can be simple, reflecting briefly, writing things down, mentally acknowledging what's done, letting the day be complete. Because without closure, the mind stays open, and an open loop keeps stress active. But when the day is mentally closed, the mind can actually rest, and that rest directly affects how the next day begins. Final thoughts. Happiness often feels like something complicated, something far away, something that requires major change. But in reality, it's built in small, repeated actions. Quiet decisions that don't look important in the moment, but shape everything over time. There's no need to chase something abstract, only a need to adjust the patterns that run daily life. Small shifts in how the day starts, what gets carried forward, where attention goes, how the day ends. Because happiness isn't created all at once. It's created in moments, repeated consistently. And once those moments start to align, happiness stops being something you occasionally feel and becomes something you naturally live.